I'm Jake Quickenden and I'm playing George Berger in the show.
I'm Paul Wilkins and I'm playing Claude.
You know what? It's new for me, it's my first one, and I've come in and I was totally out of my comfort zone for the first few days, but the cast that we've got is incredible. Like, everyone is so talented. I've really felt like they've made me welcome, and it's so much more intense than I thought it was going to be.
Actually, day by day, it's becoming, I want to say easier, but it's kind of, yeah, it is becoming easier. When I first came in, I was like, oh God, I'm really, you know, it's in a style that we're not really used to, and I'm very much personally used to being quite straight-laced and like shirts on and stuff. So just this fluidity to come through rehearsals is really bringing everybody together. And gradually, as more and more people start to let go, that was my main thing, to literally just let go, bend at the elbows, you know, kind of thing. It's become a lot easier. Yeah. Here, it is just so free, and I think it's creating a really, really lovely vibe in our little tribe.
Yeah.
I play a character called Claude Hooper Bukowski. His family are very much living the American dream, and he is the American dream personified. And because his family is so conservative, he feels a moral obligation to follow what a lot of men during 1960s did, and was to follow to go along with the draft to Vietnam. And so throughout the show, Claude is battling between these two worlds of, actually, do I stay with this tribe and be peaceful and loving, which essentially is going to save lives over in Vietnam, or do I follow my parents' want? So I just say he's a walking question mark, which is extremely interesting to play.
My character is the total opposite of his character. So basically, I play George Berger. I started this tribe. I've found Claude on the street. I've pulled him into this world, and there's not a chance I'm ever going to go to Vietnam. I believe in getting high and love and peace, and basically I'm a bit of a ticking time bomb, because I've got all these feelings, but I can't be alone. I can really relate to my character, because it's similar to the way I look at life. Life's too short, you need to have fun. I don't like being by myself, I like surrounding myself with people, and that's what it is. And
fluidity,
euphoria,
release,
mind fluck,
powerful.
I'm Katie Lipson, I'm from Aria Entertainment, and I'm one of the producers of Hair the Musical.
I'm Jonathan O'Boyle, I'm the director of Hair.
It's the themes that the show explores, and the lyrics and the songwriting, and actually the way it's put together, its structural form feels quite contemporary still. It's abstract, it's like a music video, it's just the most incredible musical. And I think the songs from a melodic point of view are very commercial sounding, they're very catchy, so with that creates legacy, because people want to sing them. And the lyrics can be taken as a pop song, or actually they can be listened to in a narrative perspective, with songs about racism, songs about you know, drug use, songs about peace and love. It all feels very much topics that we're still exploring now, and that are topical and in the news from a day-to-day basis. Protests and things like that.
And when we opened in Manchester, we opened the day after Donald Trump was elected, and there's a bit in the show, not giving it away, where you might hear the odd US president, and we designed it with Hillary Clinton, and then we had to quickly, sort of quite reluctantly, get a bit of Donald Trump in the show. So, you know, it's really pertinent. There's a lot of issues that are in the show, like Katie said, that haven't been resolved. You know, things are getting better, but a lot of the stuff that isn't has got worse, and that show sort of highlights that. And as Katie says, the music is extraordinary.
Yeah. Just to extend, it can be taken on so many levels. I mean, like I say, you can put on the cast recording and sing 10, 12, 20 fantastic tunes that my mother knows, my grandmother knows, and I'm sure my children would know, because they're that brilliant as songs, but at the same time, when you see them in the context of the show, they mean something completely different, and that's why it stood the test of time, because of the way it can be. You can take things out of context and within the show, and it's commercially viable from a record point of view as well as a piece of theatre.
Every instinct in me wants to do a read-through, say, the first day. When I first read the script, you go, wow, this, you know, is quite difficult to follow, and, you know, there's a lot of, you know, it's a lot of concept, and it's a lot of, you know, you need to physically feel it and understand it. So a lot of actors that have been in the show, or particularly this cast, you know, they're responding to it brilliantly, but they learn as they listen to the music, as they learn the choreography, as they sort of shape that world together. Because I'm really keen that, you know, they bring their ideas and their creativity and their character to it, because they've got to do it. And it is, like Kate said, a long music video. There's 42 songs and they're all brilliant. So it's really important that they can sing it, have fantastic stamina, but also, you know, bring joy and love to it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I echo all that, and it's interesting hearing from Jonathan about how he's approached the 3 companies that we've used on the show, and to instill that same creative vision.
Because it's like a different show every time, really. We don't, yes, we know how to do it and what works and what doesn't and what we want, but ultimately it's a brand new show because they're new people.
Because of the emotional journey the show takes you on, it's euphoric, it's full of joy, but it's actually extremely emotional. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. So even though it's a revival, it's this production, the one we've created, I truly believe in for this generation of people, and people that have seen it before. We had people at the Vault seeing it 32 times, people that were super fans of the show coming back, different seats every night. I think it's an experience like no other. It's an indoor music gig, and there's so much to take from it, as well as it being extremely topical and informative.
Yeah, and I hope people come to it and have a brilliant night out, are thoroughly entertained, but also that by the end they might have learned something, or might think differently about something when they leave the theatre, and talk about it. Like Kate says, it's important that people, I think theatre should affect people and entertain them. Yeah. Colourful,
vibrant, electric. Oh, 2 for you.
Oh no, each.
Oh, it's 5
What
each.
is it going to be 5 each?
There you go, 2 more. Colourful, vibrant, electric.
Yeah, electric. Musical and life-changing.
Life-changing, joyous, love, peace and happiness.
My name is Marcus Collins and I'm playing Hood.
And my name is Bradley Judge and I'm playing Wolf.
Hood is a black rights activist within the show who meets Sheila at a protest rally for female equality. He's in his mid-20s and has left his family in the south of America, where they've been slaves and they've been kind of maids for other families, and he's left his family to come and protest and march to try and get more equality and to try and get more rights for female black women, African Americans, to get education. And that's kind of how we meet Sheila at a feminism rally, and that's their story. But he's there namely to put across his perspective about black rights, about equality and anti-war, anti-nuclear.
So Wolf is probably the youngest member of the tribe, probably joined last as well, but he, being the youngest, looks up to some of the other members of the tribe, specifically Berger, and wants to be like him. So with him being young and exploring as a young man, he is ready to go at anything, all the drugs, all the sex, everything. You know, he's kind of the voice of the LGBT voice in the show as well. He talks about men, and so that's kind of his story and his political standpoint.
It's incredible because you basically get to stitch your own role together. You create the character that you want to be. I think as an actor that's so rewarding, and if it goes well and you get credit and you're portraying your character well, that's going to be so rewarding to us, and not only to us for helping get it to that, to the director and to the piece in general. So that is, it's a dream. It's difficult because not everything is set,
You have to always be present and be in the moment and know that if somebody changes something, what would I do and say there and then? But that's something that comes with intuition and experience, and everybody's up there with that. So
Jonathan and Will and Gaz were all very clear that although they've done it in Manchester and in London, that this is a new production, as much as it is, you know, the same design and similar design, and it's been brought from that production with a new cast. Every time you do this show, it's going to create a new energy, and different personalities are gonna bring something new to the piece. So the blocking is different from the times before, and it really helps you to bring your own personal touch to the show. That's really important, because it is, you know, it's this real kind of tragic but amazing story that's really important. And yeah,
it's just gritty, isn't it? It needs to be real, and you need to fall in love with the characters. They need to be. They need to be so real, you feel like you've already known them. We want people to feel, and at times we are going to bring people up on stage, we want them to want to spend time with us, and to be able to go, oh, I've got a friend that's like that, or I know her, I've seen her before. And that's kind of, these are the positives that we get out of having this freedom. Describing the show in 5 words, I would say moving, funny, heartbreaking, unchanged, and cheeky.
I would say it is energetic, it's about love, freedom, community, and it's exciting.
I'm Kelly Sweeney and I play Chrissy.
And I am Daisy Wood Davis and I'm playing Sheila.
Chrissy she's one of probably the youngest in the show. She's a bit away with the fairies, and she is part of the tribe, a real like solid member, and she has this one moment in the just before the end of Act 1 where she sings this really lovely like love song about someone that she's fell in love with, and she's just waiting for them to come back, and she's just sitting on a stump and she's like, I'm waiting for Frank Mills, and she's a little hopeless romantic in the tribe.
So Sheila is, she was one of the founding members of the tribe. She's a political activist, a feminist. She's in her 2nd year at New York University. And yeah, she's a whistleblower. She really stands up for what she believes in. She's everything I want to be. And yeah, she's in love with Berger and has quite a complicated relationship with him, and loves all of her fellow tribe members dearly. I think because it's, I was just saying this before, I don't know how you feel, Kelly, but I think that it's, I've never seen it, so I'm jealous and I'm gutted that I didn't. I wish I had. But I think it's a really unique theatrical experience, because normally you have obviously the fourth wall that you don't break, and we are breaking that in a non-panto-y sense, and it's about the audience's energy and that involvement, and as an actor I'm really looking forward to that, but I think as an audience member I'd love to be experiencing that as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I think I love theatre that makes people walk out the door and it's like, wow, what did you think? And like, it starts a conversation, and I think because it's 50 years old, our generation and the generations underneath us, I think it's so important that they see that this movement happened 50 years ago and can still happen.
You were saying, weren't you, that is it your younger brother or sisters that they think this is all the first time all of this has been happening?
Yeah, like they think that like Trump and all that is like new information, and like it regurgitates every 20 years, and you need to see that our grandparents and the people that came before us and our family have fought for this as well. And I think it's really important that we bring it to the 2019 but still have that 60s fight and power.
And obviously particularly with like Trump and Brexit, like the world's never been more divided, or at least the country's never been more divided than now, and I think it's one of those pieces that just reminds everyone to come together and to love and to bring peace, and I don't think there's a better time for it to be.
And some of us have wigs, I don't, I naturally have like frizzy hair.
You're not having a wig?
No,
lucky.
I know, found out yesterday, so it'll be nice for me, I can just have a shower, my hair can come out nice and curly and I'm ready for the show. And to just pop a little bit of makeup on and then go on and sweat it all off. It's quite nice actually, I think.
But obviously without meaning to be crude, there's a certain bit of maintenance we need to do, getting nude.
Yes.
Which we want to keep in theme, I think, of the time as well. Like, so that's something that I've never had to deal with on a job, it's safe to say, but I am embracing it.
I think it's also really nice as well to come out as young women on a show and to give out to the rest of the women in the audience that like women look like this then, but also we can look like this now, and we can just be confident. And the nudity bit, we're still working our way up to it, and that's fine, but I think when we get there to portray our bodies and to be like, these are real women, because everyone in the cast is everyone's body is so different, and it's so special. I think that'll be really nice to give to young women. And once we've done this, I think there will be a lot of things that we will never like be worried about in future, because I don't think there's no other show that does full nudity, so there'll be nothing now in any other show that we may go into to go like, oh, I feel uncomfortable. We'll be like, yeah, let's go. You're not going to be phased.
Yeah, I think it will like transcend into our personal lives. Even so far, like in the rehearsal space, I've noticed that we're all sort of like taking an item of clothing off that we wouldn't take off if we weren't going to do the scene that we're going to do. So like, I don't normally really like having my arms out, but on the second day I was like, I've got to do it. I've got to take my jumper. Like, this is silly. So I think we're just building it up, and I think it's going to be a really personal journey for each of us, and I hope that we all are better off for it.
Ooh.
Wild, bonkers. I couldn't think of the third thing.
I did have some. I had hypnotic, which I like. Thriving,
especially in Scouse, hypnotic sounds good.
Hypnotic. And energetic as well. We only get like 30 seconds rest in the whole show. So,
and relevant.
Relevant, yes.